Net neutrality is over. A federal court strikes down the FCC's authority to impose net neutrality rules and has basically agreed with the Supreme Court Chevron ruling saying that the FCC can't enforce any sort of rules without an act of Congress. Given how our Congress is and how the incoming head of the FCC has vowed to absolutely kill anything that even resembles net neutrality, this battle is lost. This is a story that I've been covering for over a decade now, and this might be the final chapter, or at least the final chapter for a while. Net neutrality is absolutely toast. So what happened is that the Sixth Court of Appeals ruled that the FCC lacks the authority to regulate wireless and home broadband services under the same set of rules that traditionally govern telephone services, because traditionally we tried to regulate these as a public utility, as something that the public would have a right to access if you live in this country. However, the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals said that the access to the internet is not a utility, and it's also not a traditionally governed telephone service, and therefore is not subject to the control of the FCC. This decision hinged on the recent Supreme Court ruling that overturned the Chevron deference, which is a precedence that had previously granted federal agencies significant leeway in interpreting ambiguous statutory language, i.e., it allowed agencies to regulate without acts of Congress, but now agencies can mostly only regulate through acts of Congress. And again, if you've seen our Congress, you know it's a clown show and that's going nowhere. So net neutrality basically was to prevent service providers from throttling or restricting traffic to certain apps, certain websites. Basically, if somebody were to control at your ISP level, Cox, Comcast, AT&T, and let's say AT&T got a deal to only show videos from Dailymotion, and Dailymotion paid more and YouTube didn't get that contract. If you're an AT&T customer, you cannot access YouTube at all. It's gone. There's no way around that. So that's a very extreme example, but a world like that is likely coming. This is very bad news, and weirdly, there's not a lot of fanfare about it. There's not a lot of riot on the internet. It's a slow death. It's like, what is it? The world doesn't go out with a bang, it goes out with a whimper. Well, so does net neutrality. The outgoing head of the FCC has called on Congress to enshrine net neutrality in federal law, and we already know that's not going to happen. So at least for the foreseeable future, free internet is toast.